首先我们敬礼传承祖师。
First and foremost, let's pay homage to the lineage gurus.
敬礼了明和尚。
Homage to the Venerable Monk Liao Ming.
敬礼沙迦正空上师。
Homage to Master Sakya Zengkong, Tushung Rinpoche.
16世大法华王卡玛巴。
Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa.
大吉上师。
And homage to Master Dukden
我们
Darji.
敬礼坛城三宝。
Homage to the three jewels of the altar.
今天护摩的祖尊。
Homage to the main deity of Homa today, Maitreya Bodhisattva.
师母。
师母
西地。
Tutan Siddhi Rinpoche.
各位上师。
All Dhamma masters, Dhamma
法
educators,
师。
Dhamma
讲
teachers,
师。助教。
Dharma lecturers, Dhamma assistants,
各位同门
directors of temples and
还有网络
chapters,
上的同门
all disciples present here and over the internet.
今天我们与会的贵宾是中
And
央
our participating VIPs today are from Academia Sinica,
陈文文女士
Professor Zhu Siyi and Mrs. Zhu,
前台湾省政府秘书长
and the former Chief Secretary of Taiwan Government, Mr. Zheng Peifu and Mrs. Zheng,
中委会法律顾问
Law Advisor to Buddha Foundation, Mr. Lu Wenxiang,
中国中博士教授团医护
and
团
Buddha School scholar groups and medical groups,
木雕艺术家
the wood sculptor Mr. Jian,
先生 My University same classmate 朱金水先生及夫人陈哲霞女士，
Mr. Zhu Jinshui and Mrs. Zhu,
防空功德会总会长及
the president of the Worldwide Lotus Light Charity Society, and the producers for the Great Perfection Dharma, Lamdre, and Sutra Perfect Enlightenment, Master Lien Yun, and the hosts, Master Lien Hai, and Dharma Sister Pei Jun.
中天电视台给你点上心灯节目制作人，
Producers for the Illuminating Your Heart from CTI-TV Taiwan, Dharma Sister Rebecca Shiachi,
My sister 卢胜美女士，My sister 卢国英女士 and her husband。 感谢
and thank you to Dharma Sister Peng Hui-Chin,
打斋10万元
each for the donations of $100,000 NT for the following
简
people.
连胡师兄
Dharma Brother Jian Lian
打斋
Hu,
10万元，马景明师兄
Dharma Brother Ma
10
Jingming,
万元，梁子玲师姐
Dharma Sister Liang Zilin,
温宪亨师兄
Dharma
打
Brother
斋
Wen
10万元。
Shen Heng,
霍丽娟师姐打斋
Dharma
10
Sister
万元，
Ho Li Juan,
华生堂打斋
and the
10
Fa
万元，
Sung chapter for the donation $100,000
陈丽
NT.
梅师姐
Dharma Sister Chen Yimei, $100,000 NT.
陈巧琴
Dharma Sister Chen Qiaoqing, also each of them for 100,000 NT dollars. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
你好，大家好。Selamat siang, selamat petang.
Greetings in all different languages: Cantonese, Indonesian, Malay, Thai, French.
감사합니다.
Korean,
도모 konnichiwa.
Japanese.
Good afternoon.
English, Portuguese, German, Spanish. So today is the birthday of Maitreya Bodhisattva, and that's the first day of the first month, which is the Chinese Lunar New Year. So let's sing a birthday song for Maitreya Bodhisattva.
Ulang tahun kami ucapkan, selamat panjang umur kita akan doakan, selamat sejahtera sehat sentosa, selamat panjang umur dan bahagia. 这唱给弥勒菩萨听的。
So the birthday song was for Maitreya Bodhisattva. So today is the Chinese New Year. So to keep us well and safety, we should chant this verse. The round heaven and the square earth, I command the 9 ways. On this Chinese New Year, I wish everybody safe and well for the whole year. I wish you all a happy New Year and to be safe and well for the whole year.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. And happy birthday, Maitreya Bodhisattva. And for everybody, Happy New Year. We have disciples from Vietnam today. Changzi. Come on. That's Vietnamese. Come on. So today, Maitreya Bodhisattva. I've almost forgot. I would like to wish everyone a very happy New Year. And we also want to wish XX a happy New Year. And I'm truly grateful to her because she's been, for 10 years, she's been talking that Grandmaster will die, would die at 73. Ding ding in Chinese.
73 is die. 大73岁你就要死。
She said that you would die at 73.
鼓励以及
And due to her challenge and motivation, and she's been talking about it for 10 years. And that's a very grave problem. Otherwise, she wouldn't have talked about it for 10 years. And today is Chinese New Year in Taiwan, the first day of the first lunar month. So according to Taiwanese calendar, I am now 75. So thanks to you that I practice really diligently, be very careful in my behaviors, even in walking and in my bathing, that I don't use any soap anymore. That I'm rather soft in dealing with people, not so hard and like according to Lao Tzu, the gentleman should be gentle and not so hard. But doesn't matter whether it's according to Gregorian calendar or to the Taiwanese calendar, that I am now past 73 years old. So that's why I want to ask you. You claim that Grandmaster Lu would die at 73. So what did you mean? I don't know what you're talking about, what nonsense you were talking about. Play of words in Chinese. You were so sure talking about it for 10 years, and see, it didn't happen. So this such severe issue, you even miss your prediction and calculation. So moreover, all the other things that you were talking about. So because of that, I can only give you 3 words: do, re, mi. So, 2XX, please be careful. And you have to watch this program on every Chinese New Year. And I would say do, re, mi to you. Yes. Oh, I don't know. I don't understand. Why? She was talking about this for 10 continuous years. 10 continual years. And even that was not accurate. You made me very careful when I walk up and down the stairs or bathing, huh? Or in the car, driving, but they all passed, right? Huh? So if I were careless, in 还有吗？
好了，不讲了。
Okay, that's all for now. I have said my do-re-mi to her, and thank you to Master Hui Jun for reminding me. So now, today, we will be talking about Maitreya Bodhisattva. So our Homa was very successful. So Maitreya Bodhisattva led his whole retinue and assembly to descend from Tushita heaven to the Saha world, to our Taiwan temple, and to give blessings to all the disciples. And I saw it personally. All I said was truthful. I did not lie, did not make it up. And truly, Maitreya Bodhisattva and bestow all the precious ambrosia, precious sweet nectars from Tushita heaven upon all of us. If you took pictures, the sweet nectars would have formed like a rose of dewdrops descending from heavens, from the sky. And we have the prajna lights every time during the ceremony. So any more photos of prajna lights would not be so unusual, but photos of the showers of sweet nectars would be very extraordinary. It's just like rain showers of sweet nectars from heavens. And each one of us was showered by the light of these sweet nectars. So that's what I saw, the descent of Maitreya and the sweet nectars. And Maitreya Bodhisattva is a truly great Bodhisattva. And he's the same as Buddha, so we can refer to him as Maitreya Bodhisattva or Maitreya Buddha. We can say that in India there are only consciousness only, Yogacara and Madhyamaka. But if you look at the ornament of clear realization, if you read this treatise, there would be the concepts or the teachings of Yogacara of Maitreya Bodhisattva, and Nagarjuna Bodhisattva instructed on Madhyamaka. So Yogacara originated with Maitreya, who transmitted to Asanga and Vasubandhu. So Asanga and Vasubandhu Bodhisattvas. That's for Yogacara. And in the future, Maitreya Bodhisattva would descend to samsara and attain Buddhahood. And there would be the 3 meetings of the Nagapuspa or dragon flower meetings. And by the great transformation power of consciousness only, Maitreya Bodhisattva would be able to completely salvage all sentient beings. Of the 8 great bodhisattvas, as we know, Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Manjushri Bodhisattva, Samantabhadra Bodhisattva, Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva, Maitreya Bodhisattva, Akasagarbha Bodhisattva, Vajrapani Bodhisattva, and Viskambi Bodhisattva. They are the 8 great bodhisattvas, and one of them was Maitreya Bodhisattva. So he's considered a really great bodhisattva. And now he's descended upon our Troubadour School Taiwan Temple, the Lu-Taiwan Lei Tsang Temple, and all his retinue. And they showered all the sweet nectars upon us for the whole year. So those who are not present here today, they did not receive the empowerments of Maitreya Bodhisattva's sweet nectar. And all of you here had received the empowerment of the sweet nectars of Maitreya Bodhisattva. So I cannot guarantee if they would be completely safe and well. But for all of you who are present here, I wish you health and safety for the whole year. Health and wealth and safety, sorry. And in China, there was the monk with the cloth bag. On his moment of death, he wrote a verse that proved that that monk with the cloth bag was Maitreya Bodhisattva. That he descended upon samsara, and upon his death, he returned to the Tushita heaven. So the Maitreya Bodhisattva, the Chinese version of Maitreya Bodhisattva are rounded, 3 rounds. The roundness of his head, of his belly, and of his body. So 3 rounds. So very round and chubby. So, or we call it fatso, or the chubby kid. So please don't undermine the chubby one, because they could be the reincarnation of Maitreya Bodhisattva. See, Master Hui Jun laughed the loudest. And Maitreya Bodhisattva are with the 3 great rounds, and you're just 3 small rounds. And 1 year, 1 time are the medium 3 rounds, not the big rounds. 3 big rounds. Do we have the 3 big rounds here? Not that we can see. So the Chinese version of Maitreya Bodhisattva is really like the monk with the cloth bag. And the Tibetan version of Maitreya Bodhisattva is very handsome and with great figure. And he is enthroned on the Dharma throne. And we just heard the mantra of Maitreya Bodhisattva. And by reciting his mantra, visualizing either the version of Maitreya Bodhisattva who are brown or the Tibetan version of Maitreya Bodhisattva, who is very handsome and fit. And he also formed this mudra, or the hand gesture. And according to what I know, he has 4 mudras that are often formed. And I know one of them is this. And this is Aisiteru, I love you. Truly, he formed this mudra. This is the mudra for I love you. Because Maitreya Bodhisattva loves sentient beings. Aisiteru, I love you. His right hand. And his left hand is placed on his knee. So the mudra for Aisiteru. And the other mudras are the Dharma teaching mudra. We all know. Guru Tsongkhapa and Atisha, Guru Tsongkhapa and Guru Atisha both form the Dharma teaching mudra, and Maitreya Bodhisattva too. So there are 2 mudras of Maitreya Bodhisattva, and he also has this lotus Anjali mudra. This is the lotus Anjali mudra, and his 4th mudra, it's called the stupa mudra. And do you know what stupa is? Pagoda. Oh, you know this too? So you passed the test this time. Stupa. And this mudra is also the mudra for Ushina Vijaya, the stupa. You can't mispronounce it to be stupid. Stupa. So remember, he has 4 mudras, and you can form any one of them. And be mindful of Maitreya Bodhisattva. Think of him. Be mindful of Maitreya Bodhisattva, and your mouth is reciting his mantra, and your hands are forming his mudra. And that's the practice of Maitreya deity yoga. And there's also the other practice of Maitreya Bodhisattva, which I have taught before, the white cloud mudra practice. In samsara, Sakyamuni Buddha and Maitreya Bodhisattva were brothers. And this Buddha, the Tisabo Buddha, observed their destiny to descend to samsara. And he noticed that Sakyamuni Buddha's affinity with samsara will mature first. That's why Sakyamuni Buddha descended upon samsara first. Otherwise, it could have been Maitreya Bodhisattva, because his spiritual cultivation has been perfect, because Sakyamuni Buddha and Maitreya were both disciples of Tisha Buddha. And he observed that Sakyamuni's affinity with samsara will mature first. That's why Sakyamuni Buddha descended upon samsara and attained Buddhahood first. And next was Maitreya. So anyone that attained Buddhahood, that would be called the mighty Buddha king with great authority. So like Sakyamuni Buddha was a true founder of Buddhism on samsara. And then the second Buddha on samsara, or the second founder of Buddhism would be, or patriarch would be Maitreya Bodhisattva. And all the other Buddhas who have attained Buddhahood are just the regular Buddhas, are not the mighty Buddha king with great authority. Only Sakyamuni Buddha and Maitreya Buddha. And in the future, the sentient beings that Maitreya Bodhisattva salvage are innumerable. They are truly uncountable, the same as Sakyamuni Buddha. And only then they are referred as the mighty Buddha king with great authority. And Maitreya Bodhisattva has many epithets, called the benevolent Bodhisattva, Aito, the invincible one, and he was referred as Cisi, or the compassionate one, because he could enter into the samadhi of compassion. So that's why he's referred as the compassionate one. And Sakyamuni Buddha was referred as the benevolent one. So that's why in Chinese we talk about kindness and benevolence. So the benevolent one was Sakyamuni Buddha, and the kind one was Maitreya Buddha. So where is Maitreya Bodhisattva? He's now at the Tushita heaven, the inner quarter of Tushita heaven. So on the surface, it was Tushita heaven, but inside it, they are the unfathomable mani realms. There are numerous realms, and the practitioners of Yogacara and those who want to be reborn into Maitreya's Pure Land, that would be the Pure Land of Tushita. And it's also called the realm of utmost joy. So now you know what Yogacara is, or consciousness only, because our consciousness is extremely important. In our spiritual cultivation, consciousness is extremely important. The same thing in Tantrayana. And Maitreya Bodhisattva was teaching on Yogacara. As we know, eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. They are the six consciousness, from the coarse consciousness and the subconscious consciousness, which is the mola consciousness, and the seventh consciousness, and the eighth consciousness is alaya. And that's the consciousness of the Buddha, which is the finest consciousness. The coarse consciousness are that of the eyes, ears, nose, tongue, body, and mind. And the finer consciousness is Mona consciousness. And then even finer, and inside this finest consciousness, which is alaya, that would be hidden or concealed the Buddha nature. So in Yogacara, they talk about the coarse consciousness, the fine consciousness, and the finest consciousness, which is Buddha nature. So that was the methods of spiritual cultivation by Maitreya. And Maitreya has 6 sutras. The Maitreya Sutras for the descending upon samsara, attaining Buddhahood in samsara. And the Sutra of Maitreya's reborn, Maitreya's descent, Maitreya reborn to become a Buddha, Sutras of Maitreya becoming a Buddha, Sutras of Resurrection of rebirth into Trishita heaven and reborn as a Buddha. So, and the mudra of Mahachakra, which is a wrathful emanation of Maitreya, is the same as that of Marici. And today I was going to talk about the 4th level empowerment of Lamdre, but I found that the 2nd and the 3rd level empowerment are extremely important. So I want to summarize the key formulas and the 5th instructions of the 2nd and 3rd level empowerment. So let me give an analogy for the inner tantric practice. When we practice the chi, channels, and light drops, or prana, nadi, and bindu, they don't exist in Mahayana Buddhism, only in Tantrayana. So what is this chi, or vital energy? The chi inside your body, there are 5 kinds: the upper chi, the lower chi, the life chi, the peripheral chi, and the fire accompanying chi. There are 5 kinds of chi inside our bodies, and one of them is unmoved, and that's the life chi at your heart chakra. It cannot move. It doesn't move. And what is chi? So chi is something that circulates inside your body, and as an analogy, it's like the car. And who's the driver of the car? That's your mind, your consciousness, the master of you. That's you. And what are the channels? And the channels are like the roads inside your body. We know in Tantrayana we say 72,000 channels. 72,000 channels. Of course, including the capillaries. That's why there are so many of them. So the channels are like the roads where the car drives on, and the consciousness is the master who drives the car, who moves inside the roads, the channels. The most important channels are three: the central channel, the right and the left channels. And the most important one is the central channel. So the qi channel, qi is the car, channels are the roads. And what are the light drops or bindu? And so when you drive the car carrying some cargo, the cargo is the light drops. So I have explained now the qi channels and light drops in your inner tantric practice. The driver is the consciousness, the car is the qi, the roads are the channels, and the cargo on inside the car or on the car is the light drops. Now you understand better what the qi channels and light drops are. And there are three kinds of light drops. The white light drops, which are called white body, at the brow point, and the red light drops or the red body at the forefinger width below the navel, and the light drops inside the heart chakra. It's half white on top and half red at the bottom. So white on top and red at the bottom. As said in Taoism, this is the upper dantian, middle dantian, and lower dantian. The tantric spiritual cultivation, the most important one in Hevaja and Lamdre, you have to first ignite the red body, and the red body is the inner fire or tumo. And the channels, the important one is the central channel, and that's the crown chakra, the brow chakra, the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the navel chakra, the secret chakra or generative chakra, and the base chakra, for a total of 7 chakras, 7 wheels. And some people only refer to 5 chakras and some to 7 chakras. In the Guhyasamaya Tantra, they talk about 7 chakras. Kala Chakra Tantra talked about 5 chakras. So you need to remember the placement of the light drops. By practicing the 9-cycle Buddha breathing and Vajra chanting, the treasure-based energy yoga, by the methods of the treasure-based energy yoga, you change the outer convenient qi into the wisdom qi inside the central channel. Once the qi enters into the central channel, it becomes the wisdom qi, and you use the wisdom qi to blow on the red body of the inner fire to ignite it, so that the inner fire can be ignited. So how do you confirm this method? How do you know it works? Is through your spiritual sensation or yogic experiences. Like at the red body area, to observe whether your inner fire has been ignited or not, is the sensation of warmth. Do you sweat? Right before igniting the inner fire, at the lower dantian, at the red body, you have to make it ascend to the heart chakra, and the white body to make it descend to the heart chakra, and to melt the heart chakra, and for you to see the life qi inside. And there are many names to the life qi. And you can also refer to it as the Buddha nature or empty nature. Empty nature, Buddha nature, life qi. There it is right at the heart chakra. Most importantly, it is inside the heart chakra. How do you make the white light drop? Because the body chakra, the source of the light drops, is solid. And how do you melt it to become water to descend? And how do you make the inner fire to ascend? So with the ascent of the red body and descent of the white body at the heart chakra, to melt the heart chakra, to be able to see the Buddha nature, how do you make the red body to ascend and the white body to descend? According to Lamdre, stresses great importance on inner fire. You need to use the Treasure Energy Yoga to ignite the inner fire. You use your qi, your wisdom qi, just like a pump, like a furnace, to blow on the red body, the red light drop, until the inner fire is ignited. And you can also read the inner fire practice of the 6 yogas of Naropa, which is extremely important. And how do you melt and make the body chakra to descend? Let me tell you, this is the highest yoga tantra. It is very difficult to make the body chakra to descend. The only way is to ignite your fire of desire, that your fire of desire rises until it touches the body chakra, and to burn it from solidity into water, liquid, in order for it to descend into the heart chakra. Why do we have consort practice? Because it is reliant on the fire of desire or passion, and to ignite the fire of passion or desire to the body chakra, to melt it and to make it descend. And how do you feel when it descends? Very simple. That's called the yogic sensation or spiritual experience. It's the feeling that you experience when the light drops descend from the body chakra. And also the ignition and the ascent of the inner fire, you can also feel. And the two of them will merge at the heart chakra, and gradually and slowly would melt and open the heart chakra. And then you open the throat chakra, the brow chakra, the crown chakra. And the opening of the crown chakra is called the practice of opening our crown. It's one of the 6 yogas of Naropa. And you rely by the pushing of the qi toward your crown to open your crown. And it's also called the poa practice. And you open the throat chakra, the heart chakra, the navel chakra, the secret chakra, and the base chakra. So you open the chakras one by one. Once you open the heart chakra, the light inside your heart will be illuminated, will shine forth. Once it shines, the light will shine onto the 70,000 channels, and you would be able to emit light through all your skin pores. And you practice until all your body is light all over your body. And by use of this light, you merge into the ocean of Vairocana, or the ocean of Buddha nature. And only this is called Buddhahood, or attaining Buddhahood. So you need to observe the generation of light inside your heart. And the light at the top is a round white light, and at the bottom is a round red light of the inner fire. And gathering together at the heart chakra, opening the heart chakra, there would be the merging of the red fire and white water. And then you would be able to see the Buddha nature inside the heart. And then you generate light, and lots of light. And by use of the light, you open all the chakras. And then the light of the 7 chakras reach all the 72,000 channels, and then all your body would be light. There would be light all over your body. So you would experience the sensations through your practice. And by telling Grandmaster, Grandmaster would know the level of your spiritual practice. So there are 2 key points. One is the treasure vase energy yoga to ignite your inner fire, and the fire of desire through the consort practice to melt your body chakra, to make it descend. So why consort practice, or the dual body practice, exists is in order to melt the body chakra, or the source of light drops. And the single body practice is by use of visualization. For example, you visualize the 5 longevity goddesses, like the 5 fingers. They descend upon your 5 fingers. So that's the single body practice. It's the short practice. You also rely on the fire of desire. You visualize your body chakra melts and descends. So the single body practice relies primarily on visualization. So now you have better understanding with this explanation. Now about the 2nd level and 3rd level empowerments.
2观、3观就这样的。为什么要用双生法的原因，就是
So why do we need to rely on the consort practice? It's because the solid body chakra will not melt unless it's touched by the fire of desire. If you want to see the innate pure light, which is at the heart chakra, which is the Buddha nature. So the original pure light, or the innate pure light, is the Buddha nature, and it is the Buddha. And one more key point, in our development stage practices, when we visualize our own personal deity, the Yidam, there when he is above and facing us in the sky, or when you have reached a better spiritual realm, then it would be facing each other. So first in the Kriya Yoga, and then Charya Yoga, and then the Yoga Tantra, then with the snap of the finger, you become the Yidam. So the visualization that the deity is outside you and your body and the Buddha nature inside your heart chakra, the union of the three is one. So the deity that you visualize and your consciousness or mind and the original consciousness in Yogacara are the same. They are all manifestation of the Buddha nature who we attach appearance to it that becomes Yidam. So when you practice the I merge and the deity merge into me, then there would be the practice of Yoga Tantra. And then when you become the Yidam, then that would be the highest Tantra. So you are the Yidam, and the Yidam is you. So that means you and your body and the original pure light inside you, or the Yidam in the space above, are actually one and the same. So the Yidam in the space above and your body and the original pure light inside your heart chakra, the Buddha nature, are actually in union and one. They're one and only one. And that's called the yogic union. So the tantric practice is you visualize the Yidam. Your mind is completely mindful on the Yidam. You recite the mantra, you form the mudra. So the purity of the body, the purity of the mouth or speech, and the purity of the mind, when they are completely the same of those of the Yidam, then you have reached the Yoga Tantra. And when you're already in union with the snap of the fingers, you become the Yidam. And with the snap of the fingers, you become Golden Mother or Amitabha or Siddhigarbha Bodhisattva. It's very simple. When you reach such a level, with one thought, when you're already in union with your Yidam, that your body, your Yidam, and your Buddha nature are already connected and in union, then you are the Yidam. Then the Yidam is always with you at any time and any place. So this is called the spiritual union or yogic response. So when you reach the state when the Yidam is always with you, whether you sleep, eating, walking, wearing clothes, then that would be called spiritual union or yogic response. 相应 in Chinese. Once you're in this state, when you're in yogic union, then it's extremely fast. When you reach the it's extremely fast to ignite the inner fire, because you receive the blessings of the Yidam. Very fast you would be able to ignite the inner fire, to make the bodhichakra descend, and to open the heart chakra and to see your own Buddha nature. So those are the quintessence, the fifth instructions of the third level empowerment.
我很久都没有那种心惊肉跳的感觉了。第二天，老婆带我去逛了珠宝首饰店。
You know, I told my wife that now I don't feel like my heart beats very fast anymore these days. So until one day she brought me to the jewelry store. But you're in deep samadhi, so you don't laugh. So as spiritual cultivator, we have jewelries of the white body and red body, and then the original pure light of our heart chakras. Those are the treasures that we strive for. But the mundane beings would strive for just the mundane jewelries, mundane treasures. Last night, the Huangti called the Yellow Emperor called on the beautiful girl, and then spit on the girl's breast, and then asked everybody to turn off the light, and then an hour later to turn on the light again. And it turned out that everybody's actually, he rubbed some ash on the breast. Everybody's hands are black except one. And then the emperor said, only this minister is clean. But he smiled and he saw that there were ash on his teeth. And then the emperor was embarrassed and said that the gentleman moves his mouth but never moves his hands. So the meaning of this is everybody has desire and greed. It's not that you don't have it. Even when you practice until you become a true gentleman. But how do you transform the desire and greed into spiritual cultivation? It's by relying on the consort practice. However, if you don't attain or you have no attainments in your non-leaking practice and you do the consort practice, then you would you harm yourself. That would you will be able to kill yourself. So first, you need to practice non-leaking, the inner fire, and then you use the fire or the fire of desire to touch the body chakra. So when I told that joke, I meant that all the ministers have desire and greed. And a true gentleman can control himself. At the company's banquet last night, there was a great beauty agreed to dine together. And then we ordered all kinds of good food, including the lobsters and oysters and everything. And then afterwards, is there anything else that we go to the nightclubs or go to the luxurious hotels? But they said no, then we'll just go home after dinner. And that's it? He said, you know, with the hot pot dinner, I spend all my money, so what else could I do except going home? That's a joke.
我们修行人啊，本身要有本钱。
For spiritual cultivators, you have to have money.
你没有本钱，
You have to have
你就
capitals.
不能修行。我讲的这个本
Because
钱
without
就是
capitals, you cannot
money coming home
spiritual.
啊
You cannot cultivate spiritually. So
是 all
what
money coming home
I'm talking about is all money coming home. And it sounds like oh money Benny home. So what does it mean, oh money Benny home?
真的，你所有的气
Is
都能够在
that
你身体里
you
面运
cultivate
作
spiritually until all the qi can circulate all over your body.
方便气已经变成
That
了
you
你做饭
cultivate
里面
spiritually so that
智慧气
the external qi can become the wisdom qi inside your central channel. That's the
你
capital
如果你
in
的
your
中脉
spiritual
是没有
cultivation.
通的，
But if your central channels is blocked,
那你根本就
it's
没有
not
钱。
open, that means you have no capitals, you have no money,
所以你气能
you
够
have
进入
no
中脉，
assets.
这是一个最重要的
So
一个
the
要
most
气
important
能够进入中脉
key point
而且
here
气
is to
能够
make
把
the
火
qi
火
to
给
enter into the central channels
用
and
力
to
用
have
火
the
火
qi to
贪火
ignite the inner
起
fire.
触菩提心
And
为
by use of the fire of the inner fire to touch the body chakra at the crown chakra and to melt it to become
这是
liquid.
重要的啊，重要的口诀
So that's a very important key formula.
啊。总经理出国考察，
The
临时
general
赶到
manager
公司
went
交代
abroad
事情
for field
不
trips
巧接到的电话
and
是小明，
instructed
他正在
made a phone call
小
to
明
the
回
back
答
to the
抱歉
company.
我正在跟我的女朋友讲话，
Xiaoming got the call
请
and said,
请
"Oh,
你待会儿
I
再打。
was
总经理问
on the line
你知
with
道
my
我是谁
girlfriend.
吗？
Please call
我是
again
总
later."
经理
And the general manager
小明
asked, "Do
就
you
回
know
答
I'm the
啊
GM?"
你知道我是谁吗？
And then
总经
Xiaoming
理说不
replied,
知
"Hey,
道
but do you know who
小
I
明
am?"
就回答那就
And
没
the
有
GM
关系
replied, "No, I don't know who you are." Well, that's fine then.
这个小明是很聪明的，
So Xiaoming was really
小明是
clever.
很聪明的人。我们要学佛法，要懂得心要口诀。
So in our Buddhist practice, we have to
抓住
comprehend the key formulas and the fifth instructions. Once you can grasp correctly on them, then you would succeed. If you're not, then your practice will be middling,
啊，这是
will be so-so. Huh?
在北海道下雪的时候，
People
一
say
定要约
in
心爱的人
Hokkaido,
出去走走，因
when
为
it's
走着
snowing,
走着
you have
两个
to
人就一起白了头。
you have to go out and take a stroll with your loved one, because as you walk, that your hair would be white, so that means you live together until your hair becomes
在
white.
台中
But in
就不
Geelong,
一样，
then your brain would be watered down. And in Taichung, there's so much smog. And as you walk, the other one would be missing,
许多男士
cannot
有
be
带
seen
着老
anymore.
婆去台中走一
And
走。
because of this, there were many men who took their wives to take a stroll in Taichung.
这个
So the smog in Taiwan was extremely severe,
凉拌炒
horrible.
鸡蛋，
So what should we do? Oh well.
有一个数学老师啊，
A
跟
math
妻子离婚
teacher got 妻
子
divorced from
临
his
走的
wife,
时候在离婚证书上背后写
and
上
before she left,
145
at the divorce letter,
154除以
wrote
4，它
this is playovers of Chinese.
1+180，什么意思？
She wrote all
乘以
the
154
numeric
除
numbers that meant some Chinese words.
1+180，对，1+180。数学老师用尽所有的数学专业知识，求解都不得其意。这个妻子走的时候，他写下这个数字。 多年以后，为解答这个谜题，他特地将前期的数学式子列在黑板上，要求学生解。
And then, because this math teacher just couldn't decipher it, so finally he wrote it on the board and then asked the students to understand it. And the students could. It is only meaningful in Chinese.
再来呢，1+1=80，就是4跟 comma 1+1=80，就是死王八蛋。
So it's like 1 + 1 is 0. In Chinese, it sounds like you're a jerk, but it's only meaningful because it's like a homophone in Chinese.
154除4 1+1=80，这个就是告诉你，这个就是新药口诀。
You know, let me tell you, these are the key formulas. Just a joke, just a joke.
哦，这是现代的，到银行汇款，
This is the modern day.
车临时停在路边上，
I wire some money at the bank, and I just double park at the road.
跟这个朋友讲，
And to avoid ticket, I asked the friend to watch the car. If there's a police checking the car, please let me know. And as I entered into the bank, my friend, there was a policeman, and that friend just barged into into the bank and yelled, "Bro, the police is here, please run." And dozens of people in the bank was really shocked, and they all barged out of the bank. And then I was being pulled down by several security guards.
不怕神一样的对手，就怕猪一样的队友。
You know, we're not so afraid about people who are so smart, but friends who are so dumb, stupid, just like a pig. Like the joke that Simu told earlier, the first wish of pig is that all the fences would go away, and then a pig's food fall from the sky, and then the pig butchers all die. And fourth, that everybody is Muslim. Those are the wishes of the pigs.
有一个人家叫他猪，猪啊。
Someone called pig, like Hui Jun. I didn't call her Hui Jun, I called her small pig. And in our group, we also have the big pig. And then he said, "Pig, no way." Which means like he's not a pig, you know, because people and because of that his nickname become Pig. No way pig. So everybody calls him No way pig. So he was really upset about it. So one day he stood up and told all the friends, "I want to announce I am definitely not a no way pig." Oh well, how do I am definitely a pig.
有一次呢，那个先生呢点滴快打完了，老婆就赶快跑去找护士大喊：1号完了！1号完了。
A husband is on the hospital bed and was on an IV, and his wife walked, and the IV was running out, and she ran out of the room and yelled that the number 1 is going away. It's like dying, actually. It's talking about the IV, not the person. So that's misunderstanding. But once you comprehend the true meaning of the key formulas and you grasp on it, then you cannot have any misunderstanding. And by hanging on it, then you would definitely succeed and have attainments. Om Mani Padme Hum.